We've all been there, right? Stuck in some presentation.
Yeah.
Totally zoning out.
Thinking about anything but what's on the screen.
Exactly. But then there are those presentations. The ones you actually remember.
Weeks, months, even years later.
What makes those different?
It's rarely the stuff in the middle. It's the beginning and the ending.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like a good book,
Okay.
a strong opening hooks you,
Yeah.
and then a good ending makes you think.
So how do we make presentations people remember?
It's easier than you think.
Really?
Let's start with openings.
Okay.
One technique is storytelling.
Ooh, I like stories.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Our brains are wired for them.
Makes sense.
They make information relatable.
So instead of data and bullet points, start with a story.
Exactly. Imagine you're presenting on innovation.
Okay.
Instead of definitions, you share a story, an entrepreneur overcoming obstacles.
Through innovation.
Exactly.
Now that's engaging.
It makes it human.
Yeah. What else works for openings?
Sometimes a good question.
Not just any question.
Right. It has to be thought-provoking.
Like what?
What if everything you thought you knew about topic was wrong?
Whoa.
See? It makes you curious.
Yeah. I want to know more.
That's the point. It creates a gap.
That the presentation fills.
Exactly. The audience wants the answer.
Okay. Playing on our curiosity.
It works.
What else?
Well-chosen quotes can work too.
Oh, yeah. Like inspirational ones.
Imagine a presentation on leadership. It starts with a quote like, "Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge."
Oh, I like that one.
Short, memorable.
And it sets the tone.
Right. You're seen as an authority.
Because of the quote.
It adds weight to your words.
Cool. So stories, questions, quotes.
And one more.
What's that?
A bold statement.
Or.
A startling statistic.
Give me an example.
The average person's attention span is now shorter than a goldfish's.
Wait, seriously?
It gets people's attention.
It got my...
It creates urgency.
Like, I need to pay attention.
Because it affects you.
That's clever.
So you've hooked them at the start.
What about the end? How do we leave them remembering?
That's the closing.
At last chance.
To make an impact.
Yeah.
One way is summarizing your message.
Not just listing what we talked about.
Right, but the main takeaway.
That's so what?
Precisely. Say your presentation was on communication.
Right.
You close by emphasizing why communication matters today.
And how it helps people.
Exactly, something they can apply.
I like that.
It's concrete.
They walk away with something useful.
Exactly, and it's not just content.
There's more.
It's about connecting to them.
The audience.
Yeah, their motivations.
Like what makes them tick.
Exactly. Leave them feeling inspired.
So they take action.
That's where a call to action comes in.
Instead of just giving information.
Right, challenge them to do something.
Give me an example.
Instead of be more innovative.
Which is vague.
Very. You could say, brainstorm 3 new ideas this week.
Much more specific.
It's actionable.
Okay, so summaries and calls to action.
Those are good.
Any other closing techniques?
A thought-provoking quote.
Ooh, I like those.
Or even a question.
That makes them think.
Imagine ending with, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Powerful stuff.
It leaves them feeling empowered.
Like they can shape their future.
And they remember your presentation.
Because of the quote.
It sticks with them.
What about personal stories as closings?
Those can be tricky.
Too personal.
It depends. It has to be authentic.
I see. Genuine.
If it feels forced, it backfires.
But a good story.
It creates connection.
Humanizes the speaker.
Exactly.
So if I'm talking about overcoming stage fright,
yeah,
I could share my own struggles.
See, that makes you relatable.
People connect with that.
It makes your message stronger.
We've covered a lot about openings and closings.
The bookends of a presentation.
What about everything in between?
Transitions.
People overlook those.
They're so important, though.
For keeping people engaged.
Exactly. They're like bridges.
Connecting different parts.
Yes. Guiding the audience through.
Without transitions.
It feels messy.
Even with great content.
Content is king, but
It needs a good delivery.
transitions help with that.
So how do we make them effective?
One technique is signposts.
Like what?
Phrases that signal where you are.
Examples?
Now that we've covered X, let's move on to Y.
Oh.
Or the next key point is,
They help the audience follow along.
especially with complex topics.
So they don't get lost.
Exactly.
What else besides signposts?
Summarize and preview.
Before moving on,
Briefly recap what you covered.
and then introduce what's next.
Like a bridge between sections.
Okay, I get it.
You could say, we've seen how important teamwork is. Now let's explore the skills that make a team high-performing.
Reinforces the previous point.
and sets up the next one.
Smooth.
You can also create thematic links
Between sections.
to make it flow naturally.
How do you do that?
Let's say you're talking about leadership,
Okay.
moving from communication to decision-making.
2 different skills.
You could say, effective communication is essential for making informed decisions, which is a hallmark of great leadership.
Linking them through leadership.
It creates a thread.
Like a tapestry.
Beautiful analogy.
And it's not just words, right?
You can use visuals, too.
Like on slides.
Change the design, the layout,
Signal a new section.
maybe different color scheme.
Or font.
Those are good cues.
You can also use your voice.
Absolutely. Change your tone
Or pacing.
to keep it dynamic.
Engage the audience on multiple levels.
Wow, there's a lot to transitions.
More than meets the eye.
Makes sense. It's about the whole experience.
Right, not just the information.
Oh, you're guiding the audience.
Exactly. So now you've got all these techniques,
I'm feeling more confident already.
but there are still pitfalls.
Oh, like what?
One big one is too much information. You can't cover everything.
Nope, it's overwhelming.
I've definitely done that.
It's tempting, but
People tune out.
they can't process it all.
So less is more,
Focus on a few key points.
and make them count.
Think quality over quantity
Like a gourmet meal
versus a buffet
where you eat too much.
and feel sick afterwards.
Exactly. Okay, what else should we avoid?
Neglecting practice.
Oh, I used to think I didn't need to practice,
A lot of people do.
but I was wrong.
Even experienced speakers benefit.
It helps you refine things
Smooth out the rough edges.
and build confidence.
It's like rehearsing for a play.
The more you practice.
The better you get.
Okay, practice is important.
What about stage fright?
That's a big one.
It's normal to feel nervous.
It happens to everyone.
A little nervousness can be good.
Really?
How it gives you energy.
Makes you more alert.
Exactly. The key is channeling it.
Don't let it control you.
Think of it as excitement.
So reframe the nerves
Focus on connecting with the audience.
and sharing your message.
Remember, you're not performing.
It's a conversation.
Sharing ideas
That helps a lot.
takes the pressure off.
So what makes a presentation truly unforgettable?
It's not about perfection.
Or fancy slides?
It's about connection.
Between the speaker and the audience.
That's what people remember.
Any final advice?
Never stop learning.
The world of communication keeps changing.
Stay curious. Find new ideas.
Keep getting better.
Every presentation is a chance to learn.
So well said. Remember, listeners,
Every presentation
is a chance to connect
inspire.
and make a difference.
Go out there and share your ideas.